Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. I hope y'all can hear me out here. What's up, family? What's up? What is up? It is your man 100 grand, Matt D. Talford. Welcome back to another nature edition of Matty's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talford. If you are new to the channel, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Y'all, I'm doing this outside. I don't know how this is going to work. Okay, I got my microphone. We're outside. We're in the sun, right? Everybody loves the sunshine. And we're doing this because we're doing this outside because, of course, I wanted to switch it up on y'all today, right? We're talking about a new moon in Leo. A new moon in Leo. Leo's what? Leo's about the sun. It's about the sun. It is about what ignites our passions. It is about what powers us. So as I'm waiting for a few more people to jump into the chat, I'm going to start us off with some upbeat music because Leo is upbeat energy. Do y'all know any Leos who are like downtrodden? Sorry acting, or I ain't gonna say sorry acting, but do y'all know any Leos that act sad? Probably not. Okay. Looks like I'm having a little bit of connection difficulties, but we're gonna keep this thing going. We're gonna keep it going. So let me get some music going. And for those of you that are my regulars, if y'all are seeing this thing on demand, y'all, I gotta give y'all an apology because I know y'all are used to seeing me at around 8:30 at night, but we wanted to do this thing a little bit differently today. So we wanted to get on here and do this, get this party started in the sun, right? Plus, I got some yard work that I want to do this evening when it's a little bit cooler. And I think with just the way everything's been going today, if I get in that yard and then try to go live, it ain't going to work so well. So y'all hang on just a minute. Let's get some music going while we wait for a couple of people to jump in. And I'm going to give this thing till about the 5-minute mark. And then I'm just going to run through these houses. Y'all know what we do on the new moons. Y'all know that. Y'all already know. You're watching Matty's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talford. Let's get this party started, y'all. Here we go. You're the one for me. D-Train. Let's get some people in the chat. We'll wait for a few people to jump in the chat. Let the system notify people, let them know we're live. I know a lot of my regulars. Let me come a little closer to the screen. I know a lot of my regulars are at work right now. So again, y'all, I know y'all like to be live with me when I'm live and interact with me. But you know what? Sometimes I got to switch it up on y'all. And Leos tend to be full of surprises. You know, I'm not a Leo, of course. Y'all know that, right? But we are talking about a new moon in Leo. A new moon in Leo. And the new moon, you can't see it anyway, right? So it wouldn't matter if I did this at nighttime or if I did it during the day. But y'all come on in. I'm gonna wait on y'all to come on in. You're listening to the sounds of D-Train. Old school. You're the one for me. Out here in nature. I got my shoes off. I'm grounding. Soaking up this sunshine. We're going to be talking about that tonight, y'all. Y'all come on in. I'm going to give it till about the 5-minute mark, and then I'm going to start running to these houses. So this will be pretty much an on-demand video for everybody else. Because my regulars, if this was nighttime, I know what y'all are doing, but y'all watching on demand. Y'all know what we do. Y'all know what we do every time. Well, you know what? Let's let the sun charge that water. Let's let the sun charge my water. Let's do that. Y'all come on in. Come on in. New moon in Leo. Time to activate your passions, creative juices, and more importantly, y'all, Leo, the 5th house, it's all about having fun. It's all about the things that make us happy. All right? So while we're waiting for a few more people to come in, I want y'all to be thinking about what makes you happy. It's time to manifest that, y'all. What makes you happy? What makes you feel like a kid? What talks to your inner child? That's what we're going to be talking about. So the way we're going to set it off today, y'all, let me take the music down a little bit. I like the music a little bit louder. I want to yell for it. We having fun, right? So the flow today, y'all, the general flow today is going to be, I'm going to go general. I'm going to talk about some general things, which I've kind of already been talking about. And then I'm going to run through houses 1 through 12. And actually, I'm going to mix it up today, y'all. I'm going to switch it up. Because Leo is the natural ruler of the 5th house. Now, for my astrology purists out there, your astrologers out there, well, your 5th house ruler is, I'm not talking about the sign you got in your 5th house. I'm saying if you, regardless of what sign you have in your 5th house, the 5th house is ruled by the sun and it rules over the sign of Leo. So you still got a little bit of Leo interplay there, regardless of what sign you have in that 5th house. All right? So what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to talk about some some generalizations, some things that you can generally manifest regardless. We're going to be talking about general manifestations. And this is not going to be a long live, y'all. I know I'm not supposed to say that. For my regulars, y'all know. But I'm outside in the sun, and the sun affects technology. So I want to keep my technology cool, keep it from overheating. So I'm going to speed through it today, y'all. All right? This is the part. Dragonfly, that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Whenever you see a dragonfly, that's typically a good sign, all right? So good omen, positivity, spirit animal. What's a spirit animal? I know y'all call it an insect, but look it up. Look up spiritual meaning of dragonflies. Very auspicious. So anyway, general, I know I got people that watch. Let me take it on down now. Because that's the end of the song. All right, y'all. All right, so let me finish my statement, and we're going to jump right in. We're about 6 minutes into this thing, so let's get ready to get it started. Now, as I was saying, I have people that watch, people that come to the channel, people that come to the lives, and they don't know their birth time. What's up, Space Self? Thank you for joining. You like the shirt? Thank you. Yeah, you can. That's at my website, talfordarts.com. So you can pick one out in the color that you like. You can get it at www.talfordarts.com. You can get it at my 2020 pricing. I haven't taken the prices of the t-shirts up yet, though I should, but I don't care, y'all. It ain't about that. It's about the message. It's about the message. But anyway, getting back to the point I was making earlier, I do have people that watch me, and hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Let me take this off Omni and let me go with the pattern. Let me just hold it near here because that might help out. I don't know. Can you guys hear me if I put it up here? Let me know. Guys, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. I've got the wind protector on it, but if there's too much wind and noise, then what I will do is I will take it and move it back closer to my mouth. But I'm going to try to project. But you guys let me know if you can hear me okay. And let me put. I don't know if I should. Let me put it on Omni. Maybe that'll help out. I'll change the pattern up and make it. Hopefully, it'll make it a little bit easier for you guys to hear me. Again, I'm outside, so there could be some wind noise, but I don't know. So. Hey, what's up there, Only Spirit? So, okay, you're good, Space Elf. Good, perfect, thank you. So, I've been trying to make this point for the last 2 minutes. Let me get this point out. I do have people that watch that don't know what house they have what sign in because they do not know their birth time. So, if you don't know your birth time, there's still this. Anytime there's a new moon, you can manifest in the energy of that new moon sign, okay? But then there are some specifics based on the house that you have that particular sign in. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to start off with some generalizations, some things that you can generally manifest based on the energy of Leo, what it means, how it affects us, how Leo energy affects us, how we project Leo energy. And then I'm going to run through the houses. These are going to be quick because my back is already starting to sweat. And I don't want to turn into a sweat box and gross y'all out. And then y'all be like, we can't go over there anymore. He scared us, So anyway, I'm going to go through the houses, and what I'm going to do differently this time is I'm going to combine the 5th house sign that you might have. So whatever sign you might have in your 5th house, I'm going to combine that with the house that you have Leo in, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I get to that. So let me get right to it. Now, again, I talked about this while the music was playing. With Leo is all about ignition of our passions. It's the sun, right? Is there, you guys watching, tell me, is there any other planet that you can put panels on top of your house or your vehicle or just out in the sunlight or any other, put it out in general and have it power your devices? No, the sun is the only one that you're able to harness the energy. It's the only planet you're able to harness the energy of to power your device. Okay, you can power your house with the power from the sun. It is the most powerful planet or energy in the cosmos, right? So when you're talking about Leo energy, you're talking about things that give you life. Leo powers the earth, right? Or the sun rather. The sun powers the earth. You drop a seed in the ground. If it doesn't get sunlight, it's not going to grow. It's got to get sunlight. So we're talking about what powers us, what ignites our passions, what ignites our creativity. Passions, romance, that goes together too. Some of y'all are trying to manifest romance into your life. You can do that. Now's the time to do it because the new moons are all about planting the seed. You manifest, you plant those seeds of manifestation during the new moon. You see them come to fruition during the full moon, okay? And y'all know, here's the other reason I didn't tell you why I'm outside today. What we started doing probably a couple of months into our doing these new moon manifestation videos dating back to last year is working with the element that matches the element of the particular moon sign. Leo, the moon is the new moon in Leo. We're talking tropical. We're not talking sidereal. We're not talking Vedic. We're not talking sidereal. We're talking tropical. The moon is in Leo. We're talking about a new moon in Leo that's coming up. I think it'll hit tomorrow. Late tonight, early tomorrow is when that new moon in Leo is going to hit. So it's going to transition out of Gemini and into Leo. Here's the part. Okay. Leo is a fire sign. Okay. So when you're working with a fire sign, you want to work with that element when you are doing your manifestations. So that's the other reason why I'm out here in the sun. Manifesting in the sun, it's direct. Let's do it direct. So now, when we're talking Leo, we're talking things that ignite our passions. If you want to switch over to the tarot space, the two powerful Leo energies in the major arcana, which is spiritual energy, for those of y'all who know, you know, are the strength card. I just talked about that. What powers us? What gives us strength? What shores up that solar plexus, right? Solar. Yeah, I don't know if I'm there or not. It's too bright. I can't see the screen. Solar plexus, okay? What powers that solar plexus? Now, so the solar plexus is responsible for what? Our inner strength, our confidence. That's the solar plexus. So what things are we confident in? How do we move into the energy of being deliberate? That is that solar plexus energy, that solar plexus chakra. What's the other thing? Leo is the ruler of the fifth house. The fifth house, what's that number 5? That number 5 goes with the throat chakra as well. So that Leo energy is about being bold, being fearless, being passionate, being creative, being playful. What makes us feel like a kid? That's what we want to talk about, okay? So during your manifestations, you can work with the fire element. You can go outside. If you want to manifest, you want to do your manifestations at night, you could do it in front of the fireplace. You got a bonfire pit in your backyard or a fire pit in your backyard. If you simply want to light some candles and do however you want to activate that fire element while you're doing your manifestations, that is how you do that. But the sun is the best way to do it. If you're talking about new moons in Leo, right? So I'm outside, I'm in the sun, I'm grounded, I got my feet planted in the earth, even though we're not talking about the earth energy, but the sun activates the earth, right? So what is going to make you feel youthful? What is going to ignite your passions? What do you want to appear in your life that is in alignment? What do you have a passion for that you want to appear that maybe isn't there right now? Manifest it. How do you do it? You can write it down. Some people, when they're working with fire, some people write down their manifestations and burn them. Some people write that's one way to work with either the fire or the air element. But because Leo also ignites that fifth chakra, which is the throat chakra, it's just as simple as vocalizing it. I've already done mine, y'all. In fact, I've been doing them as they've been coming to me today. I'm planting seeds. I'm going to have a nice garden 6 months from now of things that I want to appear in my life. And y'all, sometimes these things sprout up before 6 months. So if you do not know what house you have Leo in because you don't know, willpower. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, willpower. That's Leo energy all day. Leo energy all day. I got 2 Leos in my family, my mother and my brother. That's the sign of determination too. There's some other signs of determination. You got the bull, Taurus. You got the goat, Capricorn. Those are signs of determination. But that Leo energy, that Leo is about determination and pure force of will. That comes from where? That solar plexus. That solar plexus is the seat of, remember, there are 2. You've got a masculine core and a feminine core. Why do we call it a core? It's because it sits at the middle of those chakras. Leo powers that solar plexus chakra, which is chakra number 3. You have 3 masculine chakras, chakras 1, 3, and 5. So that masculine core is the solar plexus, solar sun. Power it, y'all. Power it. The feminine core is the heart, okay? The sun and the moon. The sun and the moon. And this is another reason why I'm outside, y'all, today. We're talking about a new moon, but it's in the sign that's ruled by the sun. It's in the sign that's ruled by the sun. So that is the perfect marriage. This is a great time to manifest, y'all. What's up, Lady Dagger Status? What is up? What is up? By the way, y'all, do me a favor. Tap that like button on your way in. That's going to help get the signal out and let more people know that we're live. So it is a perfect union of masculine and feminine energy. You want to align your inner masculine, your inner feminine. Everybody's got masculine. Everybody's got feminine. Let me get to back to my point. We're still on the general tip. I'm going to jump over to the houses in just a moment. That masculine core is what? Your solar plexus. That is the seat of your inner knowing. That's your first eye, as Matt calls it. Some people say the third eye is the first eye. I say the solar plexus is the first eye because that is where that umbilical cord is connected to your mother when you're in the womb. That's that first connection. That's the solar plexus. Your gut always knows. But what's that feminine core? The heart. The sun rules over the solar plexus. The moon rules over the heart. So this is a perfect marriage. Why? Because we're talking about the new moon, feminine energy, in a sign of the sun, masculine energy. That's a perfect union. That's yin yang. That's union of divine masculine and divine feminine. Let's ignite it. Let's make something beautiful happen, y'all. That core. Let's ignite that core. Okay. Now, what does Matt also say? Faith is not the belief in something. Faith is that inner knowing. I know it. I don't need to see it with these eyes. I don't need to hear it. I don't need to hear you tell me it. I know it in my heart. I know it in my gut. That gut is what? The solar plexus. So as you're doing these manifestations, again, I told you I vocalized mine while in the sun earlier today. That new moon energy. I vocalized mine. Speak it. Why? Because the sun is the ruler of the 5th house, number 5, and the throat chakra is the 5th chakra. Both of these are activators. The sun activates, the solar plexus activates by faith, and that mouth activates. Okay? So, to me, that's the easiest way to do it. Just go outside, be intentional, ground yourself, and speak what you want to appear into your life. Generally speaking, what is Leo energy? Things that make us think, our passions, things that are our passions, things that make us feel confident, things that make us feel youthful, ways that we have fun. Our strength when we have to compete, competition. That's Leo energy. Romance. That's romance. That romance energy is Leo too. All right. So you want a new romantic partner? Speak it now. Well, I'm talking general. Y'all, I'm not gonna go through all of them, but y'all look up Leo, find out what things live in the 5th house. Leo rules over the 5th house, which is ruled by the sun. All right. So whatever you want to appear in your life, now's the time to manifest it because you are under the energy of the new moon. What's so important for the new people? What's the importance of the new moon? Why not manifest during the full moon? The full moon is fully illuminated. Nothing else can go into it. No more light can go into it. Nothing else can be poured into the full moon. The new moon is completely empty. There is no light. So the new moon is when you do your manifestations because you pour them into the ruler of the emotions, energy in motion. Maternal energy is the moon. So when you pour your intentions into the new moon energy, you are filling it up. You are filling it up so that it can come to fruition when the moon is full. That is why I say, hey, y'all, let's impregnate the universe. I say that sometimes. Hey, it's a new moon, time to impregnate the universe. What's the sign of the new moon? We're talking tropical astrology right now. We're not talking sidereal. I'm not there. I did a little bit of sidereal last week. So now, or a couple days ago, whatever that was. So y'all know I'm a Mercury and Sagittarius. So when I say it, I speak it, I forget it unless I go back through my channel lineup and look at my videos. Real talk. All right, y'all. So y'all know what to do. TLS is on God's quest. She said about time you got to the Leo of Judah. What's good, man? Got you. Oh, absolutely. So it's time to manifest, y'all. It's time to manifest. What intentions do you want to pour into this cycle? What do you want to appear in your life that is in alignment with that Leo energy? What makes you feel passionate? What makes you feel youthful? What excites your inner child? Bring that out. What makes you feel romantic? Bring that out. And inject that into this empty new moon so that it can come to fruition when the full moon is in the sign of Leo. When is the full moon going to be in the sign of Leo? During Aquarius season. It's going to happen 2 weeks after the new moon in Aquarius. Okay? So we're talking January, February is when you're going to see this thing come to fruition. And a lot of times, y'all, depending on how much intent you put into it, it may come sooner. Now, let me say this. Because Leo rules over the third chakra, which is the solar plexus chakra. Y'all, it might be a little loud. Let me bring my microphone a little bit closer. Because Leo rules over that. Matter of fact, let's change the pattern because I got a little bit of car noise next to me. Okay. Because Leo rules over that solar plexus chakra, that is about confidence. So when you are doing your manifestations right now, don't manifest anything that you don't feel confident about. Don't do it. If you don't feel confident about it, it ain't time. It is not time if you do not feel confident about it. Okay. And I see there's a little bit of a lag, y'all. Hopefully y'all can still get me. Hopefully y'all are still with me there. I got a little bit of lag going on, but looks like my connection is strong. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to try not to look at my image on the screen because it's a little bit of a lag there. Anyway, as soon as this car leaves, then I'll put this microphone back. So now, let's go through the houses now, y'all. And again, I told you we're going to talk about the fifth house. Pay attention to what sign you have in your fifth house. You guys might want to write that down. You might want to write down, or you might want to take notes in general. But pay attention to what you have in your fifth house because I'm going to be combining that fifth house energy with what house you have Leo in. And y'all are going to see exactly what I'm talking about when I get there. There's no need to explain it. Okay. She says, I just noticed a lag, but you are clear. Okay. Thank you, Lady Dagger Status. She said, you sound clear. Good. He said, so should we be practicing semen retention to impregnate the universe? I'm going to be honest with y'all. I hear a lot of people talking about semen retention, and I haven't done enough study into it to fully understand how it works. I do know that for those of you that know how that monthly Christ oil thing works, and that is when you are when the moon is in the sign of your natal sun, then your body at the base of your spine from your sacrum, that Christ oil seed gets released, or from the solar plexus, that Christ oil seed gets released. It goes down to your sacrum and then travels all the way back up the 33 vertebra and hits your pineal gland. And then there's like this supposedly some explosion of enlightenment, or you may get downloads or something like that. That happens when the moon enters into the sign of your natal sun. And from what I've read, during that time, you don't want to eat any animal products, like for those of you that are carnivores or whatever. And I don't judge it what anybody eats because I eat whatever the heck I want to eat. So I don't judge anybody else. But what I've been told, or what I've learned, is that you do not eat animal products at the time. You don't eat so you don't eat meat, you don't want to eat any dairy, you don't want to drink any alcohol, and you want to practice mindfulness, and you also want to abstain from sacred energy exchange. Take that acronym. You want to abstain from sacred energy exchange of any type, whether it is manual or dual, okay? And for y'all to get into that weird stuff, y'all too, all right? No triple, no quadruple, none of that. Save it. The moon is only in that sign for 2.5 days, okay? All right, so now, gratitude, your channel has a wealth of knowledge and wisdom. Thank you, Only Spirit. I appreciate you. Lady Dagger Status said, yes, the Christ oil. Okay, that's exactly right. So, yeah, you do want to abstain during when that Christ oil release happens. That comes from your solar plexus. It's that sacrum, and then or coccyx or sacrum, and then it travels all the way back up the spine, hitting the pineal gland. So now, I don't know if that fully answers your question. Okay, that car is leaving. I can put this microphone back down because it's a heavyweight microphone, as you can see. All right. So hopefully you guys can still hear me now. I put the microphone back down. Good. I feel a lot more comfortable now. Good. My hands are freed up. So, now to one more thing on that question about semen retention. Generally speaking, that is always a good practice if you are trying to, if you want to maintain that vital energy. If you're a man, I mean, if you know, I'm not talking to any of the virgins out there, but if you know, that activity takes strength away from you. Where does your strength come from? It comes from your masculine energy, your root chakra and your solar plexus chakra. So when you release, it kind of, you got to build that energy back up. So if my generally speaking, if you want to manifest something, then if you want to practice that retention, I think it helps, but I don't think it takes away from anything, because your faith comes from your inner knowing sight unseen. There's a lot of boxers, there's a lot of athletes that they say, hey, before you go into a major, and I'm talking to the guys for just a minute, before you go into a major competition, when I ain't talking about basketball players, that's 60 minutes of running up and down the court, whatever. I'm talking about like a grueling something like tennis or boxing. They generally speaking, they tell you, hey, do not have any release for X number of weeks or even months leading up to that competition. Now that ain't gonna work very well in tennis when you're in a tournament, because the pros are playing every 2 days or every day, whatever. But I've heard people say they did it whenever they wanted to, and still went in there and won the fight, or still went in there and won the match. So it's all about what it is that your inner knowing, your belief, your confidence. If your confidence says, hey, I can still manifest and do this thing. Listen, let me say this. People say, talking about sacred energy exchange and semen retention, there are many schools of thought out there that suggest that one of the absolute top ways to manifest is sacred energy exchange with a high vibrational partner, a high vibrational man, a high vibrational woman, engaging in the act. And then when they reach the peak, they manifest. They speak what it is that they want to appear in their life. I've heard of that. I've heard of it. Have I ever done it? No, but I've heard of it. So do what works for you. Do what works for you. If you feel like it will, check in with yourself. Check in with yourself. If your inner self says, don't do that right now, don't do it. If your inner self says, if your inner self says weapons hot, fire at will, then go weapons hot, fire at will, baby. That's what I'm saying. Now, I spent too much time on that. Let me get on. Let me see if I got any other questions. Okay, good. So we're going to keep it moving now. Let's run through the houses, y'all, and y'all are going to know what I mean. So, first house, if you are a Leo rising, I'm combining them here, so pay attention. If you are a Leo rising, the first house is ruled by what sign? Aries. So if you are, now Leo rules over the fifth house. Y'all stay with me. So if you are a Leo rising, aka Leo ascendant, or you have Leo in your first house, or if your fifth house sign is Aries. Y'all see how I'm doing this? A lot of astrologers disagree with me on this. They're like, well, you should keep it linear by the, I've seen it work. I've seen it work. I have seen it work. Like, for example, when we're talking about that Capricorn energy, Capricorn rules over the 10th house, okay? And then you got whatever houses that you have Capricorn in. I have seen that 10th house activated by these moon cycles, as well as the sign that I have. Glad I got my Apple Watch on. I don't have to reach for the phone. As well as that sign that I have Capricorn in. So for example, Capricorn rules over the 10th house. I'm a Capricorn in the 4th house. I have seen when these Capricorn moon cycles come around, I've seen my 10th house activated and my 4th house activated. So I am perfectly accurate in doing it this way for the traditional astrologists or astrologers watching me that say, hey, you cannot loop that 5th house sign in when you're talking about the new moon in Leo or the full moon in Leo. You absolutely can. You absolutely can. So again, if you have Leo in the 1st house or your 5th house is in Aries, what do you want to manifest right now? We did the generals. Now let's do specifics. You want to manifest something that's going to make you feel youthful with regards to your appearance, whatever that's going to be. That's up to you. That's not up to Matt. I'm just giving you, I'm laying it out for you. What are we talking about? We're talking about what's going to ignite your creative juices. Okay, the wind blew my water top bottle away. It's all good. What's going to ignite your creative juices? I don't want it to be boiling, so time to take it out of the sun. I just let the sun charge my water a little bit. Time to take it out of the sun. What's going to ignite your creative juices about yourself? What about you? And also remember, with Leo sitting at the top of your chart in that first position, you've got a sunny disposition on your entire natal chart. Remember, let's talk about tarot again. Tarot, I didn't hit this. In tarot, Leo is the energy of the strength card. What's going to make you feel strong about yourself? Leo is also the energy of the sun card. The sun card is that happy energy. The sun card, a lot of tarot readers say the sun card is the happiest card in the whole tarot deck. When the sun card comes out in your reading, that's great energy. When the sun card comes out upright, okay? Sun card comes out in reverse, then there's something that's making you unhappy. You need to flip that. You need to figure out how to fix that. But we're not talking about that. All upright. So the sun card is the happiest card in the deck. What's going to make you feel happy about you? That first house rules over appearance. So take a look at your appearance and say, hey, what do I want to manifest? The beauty is of that first house is you don't have to wait with that. You really don't have to wait. Whatever you want to manifest, you can activate that right now. Leo energy is about activation. Okay? Leo energy is about activation. So what do you want to activate about yourself? What do you want to activate that's going to ignite the passions in your entire chart? What's going to bring that sun out in your life? Where do you want that sun energy? What do you want to charge up about yourself? About your general appearance? I love the first house because it's the house of self. So it could be anything, any aspect of who you are. That's like a wild card. You really got two wild cards when you're talking about these moon cycles and going through the houses. The wild card is if you got that sign in the first house, and if that whatever that sign is the native or is the ruler of that particular house. So those are wild cards. In this particular case, your first house and your fifth house, those are wild cards. I'll get to the fifth in a minute. But again, if you have Leo sitting in your first house or you're a fifth house Aries, this is the time to activate what it is that you want. This is the time that you want to activate what you want to appear in your life. If you're a fifth house Aries, guess what? What Aries is that energy of competition. That's that energy of being bold, being passionate, being fearless. Okay, so all of that happens. All of that's Leo energy as well. Leo and Aries are very much alike. Leo and Aries are very much alike. They're both passionate fire signs, but that Leo energy, that's the sun, baby. What is shining into your light? What's making you happy? What's charging you? What's filling you up? Manifest that. Could be something about that has to deal with your appearance. Again, it's the first house of appearances. So it could have something to deal with your appearance, okay? Normally, I'll tell you at the end, y'all look at your fifth house. I'm trying to mix it today, just doing something different. So I'm combining the two so I don't have to go at the end. But anyway, that's the first house, the house of appearances. Leo is the energy of creativity. Maybe you want to get creative with your appearance. Maybe you want to do something new with your appearance to get creative with it. Maybe you want to get creative with how you present yourself to the world. That's Leo in the first. Moving on, Leo in the second. Second house is ruled by Taurus. That's about your material possessions. Let's just cut straight to the money. All right? All right? What? How much money is it going to take for you to have fun? Manifest it. Manifest it. Right? Right? Maybe there's a creative way that you want to bring that money in. Maybe there's a creative way that you want to, maybe you want to get creative with your personal possessions. Maybe there's something that you want to acquire. Leo, the second house is about acquisitions. Maybe there's something that you want to acquire that's going to bring happiness into your life. Maybe there's something you want to acquire that is going to make you feel like it's going to bring out your inner child. All right. It's going to make you, it's something that's going to make you feel good. Leo energy is about what makes us feel good. I've never seen a sad Leo, especially in a public setting. Leo is like the party's over here. You want to have fun? There's two signs if you really want to have fun, there's two signs you should go out with. Leo or Sagittarius, those two. But we're not talking about Sag right now. So, did I bring my towel out here? I did. Okay. I'm wearing a little sweat. What can you acquire that's going to bring out your inner child? Get creative with it. Leo's about creativity. All right. What is there, like I said in the beginning, is there what amount of money is going to make you happy? Write that down, manifest it, speak it, activate it with that throat chakra. This is 5 energy. Go out, speak it, clap your hands 5 times. Clap your hands together 5 times to activate it. 5 is the number of activation. Leo rules over the 5th house. Leo also rules over the 5th chakra, as well as the 3rd chakra. Some people don't see it that way, but that's 5 energy. I just match them up. I just match them up, y'all, and I've never been wrong. I got something. The other reason I'm going here live during the day, because I was going to go live tonight, but I'm going to wait till Friday. My regulars, y'all know, sometimes I got something I want to drop with y'all. We're going to be talking about, I want to mix it. I don't want to mix it. I'll save it. But anyway, we're going to be talking about some number stuff, very interesting number stuff, but that's a story for another day. So that's the 2nd house, y'all. And I don't have my thing writing down a timestamp. So if somebody hears their Leo sign, also, what did I say? The 5th house. If you have where am I? Second house, Taurus. If you have Taurus in your fifth house, think about same thing. Same thing is going to apply. If you have Taurus in your fifth house, Taurus rules over the second house, and Leo rules, the sun rules over the fifth house. So if you got Taurus in your fifth house, this is going to apply to you too. This is going to apply to you too if you have Taurus in your fifth house. Moving on. The third house, ruled by Gemini. Third house is ruled by Gemini. If you have Leo in your third house, maybe you want to get creative with your writing. I'm not a third house Leo, but y'all know what I got going on. Y'all know what I got going. I didn't make the announcement at the beginning of this video, but I did put a link to my new book that's coming out in the description box. For those of y'all that want to check it out, you want to read what it's going to be about, click that link. But maybe you want to get creative right now with your communication. Maybe you want to get creative with, you want to write something. Maybe you want to start a YouTube channel or something like that. Maybe you want to start a platform where you're. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out. I can't believe it kept my session open, y'all. That's the cool thing about StreamYard. If I were in, first of all, thank y'all to those of y'all that stuck around. If I were in StreamYard, this thing would have completely. I may have to go back in here after the fact and trim that section out where I was gone for. But all praises to the Most High. Why is my chair going down? I'm still here, y'all. So we're back on. We're back. Thank y'all for being here. We are back live. What happened was I was sitting outside, and thank God I was here at the office or whatever, and not like out at a remote location where it was just going to be over. But I was here at the lawn at the outside of the building. And when I started the session, and I'm going to pick right back up at the beginning with the Leo in the third house. But let me just tell y'all what happened. When I started the session, my phone was in the shade. But during the time that I was out there talking, the sun moved, and it came because the sun moved, my phone was sitting right there on the ground, direct sunlight. And y'all know Apple phones are very sensitive, so the phone went out. So thank y'all for still being here. Let me put something in the chat here. Let's see. Hang on one second, y'all. Get right back on here. Okay, we're back. We're back. Oh man, this StreamYard, yo. StreamYard, y'all did y'all thing. I cannot wait to leave y'all a comment on this. So let me pick back up where I left off, y'all. I thought I was gonna have to splice these videos together, and I thought I was gonna have to start a whole new stream and splice that together or somehow. But all praises to the Most High. This thing right here stayed cooking. It stayed cooking. So, Lady Dagger Status, yeah, thanks for being here. Let's see. Thank you for hanging out. Cassandra said, could be so long too. My phone was doing weird stuff on its own. Yep, looks like the battery died. Yeah, that's what happened. That's what happened. It wasn't a battery. The phone just the phone went out because it overheated. So now, all right, y'all. Let me take a deep breath. I'm gonna sip some water, and then we're gonna get back in here. We're gonna get back in here. Thank y'all again for sticking around. I thought I was gonna have to send out a new announcement or something, but anyway, we're back. We're back, and let's just keep going, y'all. Let's just keep going. So let me start over with Leo in the third house. The third house is ruled by Gemini, of course. So if you got Leo in your third, I was talking about before the phone went out, I was talking about maybe manifesting something new, some creative project that has to do with communication. Maybe you want to start a YouTube channel. Maybe you want to start an online streaming platform. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to publish a book. Maybe you want to publish a piece of art or something like that that has a message in it. Okay, the third house is all about messages. It's about messaging. It's about communication. It's also about learning. It's about learning. So maybe you want to take a class, some sort of creative class that's going to help you with something that's going to ignite your passions. Okay, maybe you want to write, I don't know, maybe you want to write a romance novel. Okay, Leo rules over romance, lives in the fifth house. So maybe you want to publish a romance novel or something. Start working on that now. Whatever it is, manifest it. Activate it with your throat. Speak it, write it, clap your hands 5 times. That's the activation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Say it and let it go. Y'all know, some of y'all watching ain't got no problem clapping when you're talking to somebody. I told you I'm not going to play with you. Do I look like I'm playing with you? All right, maybe I don't need to do stand up. Anyway, so yeah. So that's Leo. That's Leo in the third. Also, if you have Gemini in your 5th house. The same is going to apply to you right now. If you have Gemini in your 5th house, you can do this too. You can do this too. Yes, I'm back, Lady Dagger Status. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for hanging out. Lady Dagger Status, I'm gonna say it again because a lot of you had gone offline. What happened was my phone was, when I started the live stream, I had my phone sitting on the ground behind me and it was in the shade on the ground. But what happened was the sun moved and changed positions and I wasn't paying attention to where my phone was. And the phone got overheated because it was in direct sunlight. So y'all know Apple phones, they get overheated easily. That's one thing I'm gonna get a nod to Android. This is just an aside before we move to Leo in the 4th house. But it bugs me sometimes when I'm in the gym and then I go sit in the sauna and I see cats in there. Now I'll sit in the sauna minimum, 12, 15 minutes, somewhere around there. I'll see cats sitting in there on their phone the whole time they're in the sauna. And me, I'm like, if I want to listen to music, I can keep my headphones on, but my phone got to stay in my pocket. If I bring it out, it's going to get too, and I wrap my phone in a towel so it doesn't get too much heat from the sauna. But that's just an Apple phone thing. I don't know any of y'all out there that got iPhones have seen the same thing. That's one place I'll give Android the nod, but my whole ecosystem is Apple, so I'm not going to bring an Android phone into an Apple ecosystem, okay? And I'm not a fan of Windows, so I could care less. I know people's like, well, they got apps you can put on your Android phone to make it interact with Windows. You got to make it interact. Nah, the developers need to do that for me. I shouldn't have to put an app on there. It should work right out the box. That's why I do what I do with Apple. And this is coming from somebody who's an ex-Microsoftie. But they knew what it was when I was at work. They were like, oh, yeah, Matt Apple. I'm like, if Microsoft don't want me using Apple products, then they need to buy me all Windows computers for my home that are equivalent to what I got in there. If y'all ain't gonna do that, don't tell me how to spend my money. Anyway, Cassandra, thank you for coming back. Thank you for coming back. She's Lady Dagger Status said her iPhone does that too. Apple does, yeah. Well, to a degree. Go watch that Eric Snowden documentary that they had on HBO some years ago called Citizen 4. I think it was called Citizen 4. Scary. It was scary. But anyway, it's secure as they need to be. I just assume everybody's always listening anyway. So I say what I want. About once a week, I cuss out the NSA pizza boys or whatever you call them. When I say pizza boys, I'm like, these are nerds that just sit there in front of their computer screens and management will bring out whatever food they want, pizza, whatever. It used to have it back in Microsoft back in the day when we would do product launches. It'd be the same thing. They bring ice cream sundaes around. One time they brought barbecue ribs around, whatever. Anything to keep you occupied, keep your stomach happy while you're working on doing whatever you're doing. So anyway, I cuss them out about once a week because I just assume they were always listening. Why? Right? We saw that with what? That 1998 movie, Enemy of the State. But I'm way off, y'all. This is about Leo, the new moon in Leo. So let's get back to manifesting. Moving on to the 4th house. And again, y'all, if you hear your house and you want to put it in the comments underneath the video with a time marker, you can. It's going to be a little while before I get back to rewatch this and put timestamps in, but there will be timestamps. Y'all know I give myself a 24-hour window to put timestamps in the video. But if somebody hears their house and where I'm starting, and you want to put that in the comments underneath the video, be my guest. Now, moving on. If you have Leo in your 4th house, okay, the same is going to apply to you if you have Cancer in the 5th house, okay? If you have Leo in your 4th house, what do you want to do? What do you want to manifest? Creativity. We're talking about passions, creativity, ways that we can have fun, things that ignite our creative juices, things that make us feel confident. Change your home environment. Create something new. Make up a new space in your home environment. Make up a new space in your home environment where you can be creative. You got an extra room sitting there and you're an artist and you've been, thriving or just jonesing to do something creative. Create a space in your home. Make a space in your home that's going to make you feel, it doesn't even have to be about being creative. It could just be about making you feel like a kid. What made you happy when you were younger? Maybe you want to create a new library and put some of your favorite books in there that you read when you were a child. Maybe you want to put comic books in there. So fellas, and I ain't going to just single out the fellas because ladies like to do this too. Maybe you want to create a new game room and put all of your, this is one of my dreams, y'all. I don't mind sharing this with y'all. This is one of my dreams. I want to one day build a palace and have me a huge room with every gaming console I've ever owned dating back to Atari. I want an Atari 2600. I want my a Sega Genesis. I want a Sega Master System if I could find one at that point. I want a first generation Nintendo, a Nintendo Entertainment System, an SNES, a Super Nintendo. I got my Nintendo GameCube. Okay, I got an N64 at home. I got I got the original first generation Xbox, the second generation Xbox 360, then the Xbox One. I want a game room with all of my favorite games in it, the stuff that I used to love to play when I was a kid. Could I do that now? Yeah, but it would take away space from something else. My space ain't where I want it right now. It's not. But you know what? If I were a Leo, now remember I said generally speaking, you can generalize and manifest anything you want during that new moon in Leo with regards to that Leo energy. But when you focus it in the house that you have Leo sitting in, or the sign of that new moon sitting in, it's more powerful. So maybe you want to create a game room or something in your house. We're talking about the fourth house, okay? Maybe you want to build a new house. Leo is creation energy, okay? Maybe you want to build a garden at your home, a garden that's going to make you happy. Leo is about things that make us happy, things that make us feel passionate, okay? So those are just some ideas for if you have Leo in your fourth house. Look up the fourth house themes, see what's in it. The fourth house also governs our emotions. So that's a good marriage between Leo, which rules over passions, romance, and then the fourth house that rules over emotions. So maybe you want to create, some new high vibrational emotional attachments. Maybe you want to manifest a new high vibrational emotional attachment to either an existing romantic partner where it maybe went a little cold and you want to reignite it. The sun is about ignition. Maybe you want to reignite romance with someone that you have an emotional attachment to. That's another possibility as well. Bring it in. That's fourth house energy. Fourth house rules over home, family, and emotions. Leo is the energy of creativity. The fourth house is home and family. Maybe you want to extend your family by creating another child. That's out there for you. Manifest it right now. Speak it. Clap your hands when you're doing it. Clap your hands 5 times. Go out in the sun. Work with the fire element. Sit in front of a bonfire. The moon is going to be in Leo for about 2.5 days. We're talking about the tropical sign, tropical moon. Okay? That's the fifth house. If you have Leo in your sixth house, what's the sixth house? No, I skipped. If you got Leo in your fifth house, I told y'all earlier at the beginning of this telecast, this broadcast, it is a wild card. That's the wild card. Why? Because Leo is the fifth house ruler. So Leo is Leo is at home in the fifth house. It rules over the fifth house. Okay? The sun is at home in the fifth house because it rules over the fifth house, and the sun rules over the sign of Leo. So it's a wild card. Anything that you want with regards to, go back to that general part of this video, anything that you want to appear in your life with regards to your passions, your creativity, competition. Maybe you want to start something new, competitive that you've always wanted to do. That's fun. Maybe you want to go bowl. Maybe you want to join a bowling league. Maybe you want to take up golf. Maybe you want to take up tennis. Maybe you want to join an adult basketball league or something like that. Maybe you want to be a competitive swimmer. Anything that has to deal with competition lives in that fifth house as well, which is ruled by Leo. Leo rules over competition as well. Okay? But generally speaking, what's going to make you feel strong? What's going to make you confident? What's going to increase your confidence? The sun. The sun powers devices. It powers devices down too, right? As we just saw. The sun can power you up or it can power you down, all right? If you got an iPhone, it's probably going to power you down if it's right in the sun. But that's a story for another day, okay? And speaking of powering, people keep saying, yo, man, you ever looked at Tesla? You ever looked at any electric vehicles? I said, when they put solar panels on top, then I'll get one. Shout out to you if you drive one. But that thing that happened in Chicago, 2 winters ago, where you saw all of them Teslas stuck and the freaking charging stations were iced down. They couldn't even power up. Like, nah, y'all missed me with that. Let me get them solar panels. When y'all create solar panels on top of them cars, then I'll get an electric car because it'll be solar powered. But that's a story for another day. So that fifth house is a wild card. Whatever you want to appear in your life that's going to make you feel youthful, going to make you feel creative, going to excite you, going to ignite your passions. Leo's about ways that we have fun. You want to have fun in your life, manifest that. You want to have more fun, you're working too hard, you want to manifest more fun, just be vocal and be intentional about what it is that you want to appear. And make sure you're saying it from your gut. Did y'all see What's Love Got to Do with it back in the day? Ike and Tina, played by Lawrence Fishburne and Angela Bassett. Sing from your gut, Tina. Say it from your gut when you manifest this thing, all right? When you speak it. So let's move on. Sixth house, okay? She said, Matt in chat tuning in from work. What's up, Bernadette? Thank you. Thank you. What's up, Bella? We got some new people checking in there. All right. So now, if you have Leo in your sixth house, the sixth house rules over our daily activities. That's a good feed in from our passions, right? Going from house 5 to house 6. Y'all see how the creator, how expertly designed the cosmos is, how expertly designed it is. It has to be expertly designed. All right. Not only does it govern the heavenly bodies, it governs us. It governs us. For all of the people that still think astrology is of the devil, then you call in the creator the devil, because the creator created the stars and the planets and all of these things. This earth, the earth under your feet, the water you drinking, all of that. Created this whole ecosystem and brought these elements together to work for you and to work with you. Don't work against them, work with them. Okay? So, sixth house. It's beautiful how it flows from fifth house of our passions, things that we consider fun, daily passions, things that get our creative juices flowing, and then moving into that sixth house, right, of daily tasks. Isn't that beautiful? You go from, hey, what's the message there, y'all? Y'all can put that in the chat if you want. What's the message? The message is when you get around to those daily tasks that live in the sixth house, they're going to be much more enjoyable if they're fun. What do they say? There's a saying I heard an old man say one time. He said, if you love what you do, you will never work a day in your life. That means it ain't work if you love it. This doesn't feel like work. I love this, y'all. It only feels like work when I'm tired, but I'm getting better about managing my energy and not coming on when I'm tired. But when I'm fresh, I got energy. I love this. This does not feel like work. This does not feel like work at all. So that sixth house, daily tasks, routines, our health, right? That's another great feed in. Things that power us and make us feel confident. Boom, that's going to lead to good health. That's another perfect marriage between this new moon being in Leo and that sixth house of health, daily tasks, daily routines. Manifest something that's fun that you want to do every day. Manifest something that ignites your passions that you want to do every day if you have Leo in the sixth house. If you have Leo in the sixth house, or Virgo in the fifth. If you have Leo in the sixth or Virgo in the fifth. Bring that into your reality. Manifest it. Speak it. What would I love to do every single day? Manifest that. What is going to make me feel like a child in such a way that it's going to make my health better? How can I bring the sun into my body? How can I improve and ignite my health? The sixth house rules over health. Okay. It's naturally ruled by Mercury. So Virgo is ruled by Mercury. The sixth house is naturally ruled by Mercury. So you got that communication there as well. Analyzing. Analyze that. Analyze what's going to make you have fun. Do some self-analysis. Virgo is the sign of the analyzer. Its statement is, I analyze. Do some self-analysis and figure out what ignites my passions, what ignites my creative juices. What makes me feel like a kid again? What can I do with my hands that's just simply fun? Leo rules over art, the creative arts. Virgo rules over using your hands for daily tasks. That's a perfect marriage. Maybe you want to create something artistic. All right? Analyze yourself. Do some self-analysis on that. What's going to ignite? What's going to make me feel more confident in my daily? Maybe you just want to manifest more confidence in your daily job, your daily routines, what it is that you do every day, how you organize. Okay? Maybe you want to bring some more creativity in how you organize. This is my Leo in the sixth house, people, or my Virgo in the fifth. Manifest that. Okay? Let's move on to the seventh house. Oh, the seventh house of partnership. Partnership, marriage in that seventh house, okay? All right? If you have Leo in the seventh, another good blend. Leo is a sign of creativity. It's about passion. It's about romance. Maybe you want to manifest more romance into your partnership. Maybe you want to manifest more romance into your marriage. Maybe you want to do something. Maybe you want to pick up some creative projects or something and do that with your spouse or your partner. Maybe you want to create a new business. Okay? Business partnerships live in the seventh house. Maybe Leo rules over creativity. Maybe you want to manifest the creation of a new business. Or maybe you just want to power your business. Maybe you want to power your partnership with your partner, whether it's a business partner or a romantic partner or, a marriage relationship, whatever. Maybe you need some new power and some new confidence in that. Infuse it. Now's the time to do it. Fill it up. The moon's empty. Fill it up with your intentions. Set the intention to have more fun in your partnership. Oh man, the marriage has gotten a little drab, a little routine, a little boring. I'm going to manifest more fun. I'm going to manifest that the ignition or the reignition of that youthful exuberance we had when we first met. What used to make us laugh? What used to make us feel like kids? Bring that in. Bring that in, okay? Maybe you want Leo rules over the 5th house of children as well. Maybe you want to bring maybe you want that marriage to lead to children. Maybe it's time to have children. Maybe it's time to start talking to your spouse about having children. Okay? All of that lives in there. All of that lives in there. That 7th house of partnership. Okay? Maybe you want to manifest, maybe you don't have a partnership and you want to create a partnership. Maybe you want to have this new a passion. Maybe you have a passion for partnership. Maybe you've been solo for a while and you're like, you know what? It's time for me to put myself out there. Leo's the sun. That Leo energy, everybody sees it. You never miss a Leo at a party. You never miss a Leo at a party or a gathering. You never miss a Leo at a conference. You never miss one. That's that sun energy. Everybody sees the sun. Everybody loves the sunshine. Folks get down in the sunshine. Y'all know what it is. Let's go. Let's go. Bernadette said, I have Leo in my 1st house, so I have to make sure I watch the beginning. Absolutely. Absolutely, Bernadette. Go back to watch the beginning. Okay? Now, if you got Leo in your 8th house, another one. 8th house is the house of, it's the house of manifestation, and we're talking about manifesting, right? All right? 8th house is the house of transformation as well. Maybe you need that solar power to help you to transform something. What is it that you're trying to transform? Maybe you need to transform something that isn't fun into something that is. Okay? Maybe you want to bring more passion back into your sacred energy exchange life. The 8th house rules over that. I don't normally like to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it now. That sacred energy exchange. Maybe it's boring. Maybe it's boring and you want it to be more passionate and exciting. Speak it. Manifest it. Bring it in. Again, for those of y'all that are just chiming in, that missed the beginning, don't try to manifest something that you're not confident about. Because you need that confidence. If you don't believe it, why even think it? If you don't, that's where that faith is. Faith says, I know it's going to happen. You ain't got to tell me. I already know. Thank you for telling me. I appreciate you pouring that into me. But you didn't have to, tell them that, of course. You just say thank you and keep it moving. Keep in mind what faith is. Keep in mind the story of the centurion in the book of Matthew or in the New Testament, where the centurion says his servant is at home sick of the palsy, and he wants the Messiah to heal him. He says, all right, I'll come to your house where you live, where you stay at. He's like, no. He said, I'm not even worthy. A man like you, brother like you, I ain't even worthy for you to come in my yard. I ain't even worthy for you to step your dirty shoes onto my clean floor. If you just speak the word, I know he's going to be healed. That's that solar plexus energy. That's that sun energy. He knew it. That's that faith. So whenever you're manifesting, manifest it with intention and an inner knowing that it's going to appear, and watch it appear. Faith powers it. That faith comes from the solar plexus. It also comes from the heart. But we're talking about the sun, so we're dealing more with that solar plexus. That solar plexus chakra, that chakra number 3, that's your masculine inner knowing. That chakra number 4, the heart, that's that feminine inner knowing. Power it with your inner knowing. I know I'm going to have this. I'm going to speak it because I know it's going to appear. Okay? All right? 8th house. I know I got off a little bit. Maybe what is it that you're trying to transform? The house of transformation. Okay? The house of transformation. Maybe you got an inheritance out there that you didn't know about. Or maybe you got one you do know about. Activate it. Leo energy is about activation. Activate it. The 8th house is about inheritances. Maybe some of y'all got money stored for you somewhere and you've been feeling it in your spirit, but you haven't seen it.
Now it's time to activate it. That's that 8th house energy. If you got Leo in your 8th or Scorpio in your 5th, if you got Leo in your 8th or Scorpio in your 5th, talk it, speak it. Okay? What's going to make me feel like a kid again in the area? What playfulness? Kids alchemize all the time. Think about it. If you watch children, I'm talking children because Leo rules over children. Okay? And I'm talking, we're still in the 8th house. When you got children, you watch them. This is my Leos in the 8th house, okay? Leo in the 8th. Now, or if you got Scorpio in your 5th, okay, with the same energy, okay? When you watch children will take something that isn't the thing that they're calling it, but they turn it into that. Like, you ever see kids a kid can literally take a piece of notebook paper in his hand, shape it into one thing, and then take a piece of notebook paper in this hand, shape it into something else, and play with those two things as if they were the things that they imagined. And really, you look at that paper, but that kid has literally transformed that into something else. That's that transformation energy. And they do it without thinking. So if you got Leo in your 8th, think about something that you want to transform that is new. Leo is new energy as well. Leo creates. Sitting opposite Leo is Aquarius. Aquarius innovates. We're talking about that creation energy, that sun energy, that solar energy, that power energy. Okay? And again, so we talked about this a little bit earlier when someone asked me about semen retention. If you got Leo in your 8th, and Leo's about creativity, and the 8th house is about manifestation, that's a great marriage. Okay? If you have a high vibrational partner that you engage in sacred energy exchange activity with, you can superpower your manifestation. Sacred energy exchange, from what I'm told, from what I've heard, even from what I've read, is a powerful manifestation tool. When you engage with somebody else who's like-minded on the same frequency as you, high vibrational, you literally, I'm cheating. I'm telling you a little bit about this book I just released. I talk about that a little bit in there, a little bit. You'll catch it when you see it. If you got eyes to see and ears to hear, you'll catch it when you see it. If two come together in one house, they can speak to the mountain and say, "Be thou removed and cast into the sea." What do you think that's talking about? There's another way that you could look at that. There's another application. Remember, he spoke in parables. He didn't speak in direct language because he didn't want everybody doing these things. So he gave these abstract examples to those that he knew could get them. And even if they were struggling, he would activate them by saying, "Who hath an ear to hear, let them hear." Okay? So if you got a high vibrational partner and y'all are engaging in sacred energy exchange, when you reach the top of the mountain, you can call what you want to appear and watch it appear. Free game. I just gave it to you. That's Leo in the 8th. Okay? Leo in the 8th or Scorpio in the 5th. Moving on. If you have Leo in your 9th house, okay? Or Sagittarius in your 5th. You got Leo in the 9th or Sagittarius in the 5th. I'm talking to you, okay? Expansive energy. Where do you want to go? Sagittarius is a sign of the traveler, the explorer. Leo is about creativity. It's about activation. It's about powering. It's about having fun. Where do you want to go that is just going to be fun? Okay? Do you want to bring in and manifest some wisdom that's going to feed your creative juices or your creative ideas? The ninth house is the house of wisdom. Leo is a sign of the creator. Okay? How about that? The sun, the creator. Y'all can play with that if you want. I ain't talking about the universal I am presence. We know that the sun is fire, and that's one of the elements. And the universal I am presence is everywhere. It's all the elements, including ether. We know that. Okay. So don't nobody take that left. I'm just saying, just a little play on words there. But is there some place you can travel to? Is there some place that you can travel to, or is there some higher education that you can get that's going to add to that you feel passionate about? Is there a location in the world that you feel passionate about that you want to go and travel to? Manifest that. Speak it. Activate it. Activate it. Maybe you want to go and teach something that's going to activate others. That's kind of what I'm doing on this channel right now. I'm not a 9th house Leo, but that's kind of what I'm doing on this channel. Maybe you want to teach. Why? The 9th house is ruled by Sagittarius, which is the sign of the teacher. Okay? Maybe you want to teach something. Maybe you want to teach religion. Religion lives in the ninth house. And the ninth house is the house of the teacher as well. Maybe you want to, I ain't gonna say maybe you want to create a new religion, because religion is going away with the age of Pisces, but religion as we know it. Let me say that. Religion as we know it. The ninth house is eternal, and religion lives in the ninth house, but religion the way we know it today, that's going away. Let me not say religion is going away. I've been saying that a lot. I should say that mostly what I say is these Abrahamic religions and some of these world religions are going away, and they are. Will they be replaced with something new? Probably, but we haven't seen it, not in a long time. But I'm getting off on a tangent. So that ninth house is about expansion. It's also where our gifts live. So guess what? If you have Leo in the ninth house, you are a gifted artist. You're a gifted creator. Okay. What's going to ignite that inner child and cause that inner child to expand? Expansion energy is ruled by Jupiter. So it's about expansiveness, and it's a gift. You are gifted in your ability to create. Okay. If you a fella, my fellas out there with Leo in the ninth house, don't be out there. Okay. You're a gifted creator. All right. What they say, Prince could look at somebody and get them pregnant. You one of them. You one of them. All right. If they ain't what you want in your life, don't be. All right. Figure out another way to channel and harness those creative juices if you're one of my fellas with Leo in the ninth house. All right. And I say that, y'all, let me just take it aside for a minute. Since we all adults here, let me take it aside for a minute. Everybody loves to talk about Scorpio. Scorpio this, Scorpio that. Yes, Scorpio rules over that activity and that area of the body. However, if you were to poll people, what you would find out is that that's probably dominated by the female Scorpio. But let me just make it simple. Female Scorpio and a male Leo, that's pretty much the same. Sorry for my fellas out there, the Scorpios, and you think you the cheese. I don't mean to break your heart, brother, because I got a brother who's a Scorpio. But Leo a notch above y'all from what I hear. I got a brother that's a Leo and a brother that's a Scorpio. And they two horses running in a race. My Leo brother got the edge. He wins it by nose. But I'm putting my family out there. Y'all, what am I doing? It's all good. Historically. Okay. All right. So if y'all with them, I ain't talking about right now. I'm talking about historically. All right. Might have to go back and trim this out of the live. I don't know. Anyway, let me keep it moving, y'all. That's Leo in the ninth or Sagittarius in your fifth house. If you have Leo in your 10th house, all right, that's the house of career achievement. Okay, it's about problem solving. We just did that a couple of nights ago. That 10th house is about problem solving. It's about achievement. It's ruled by Capricorn, right? So if you have Leo in your 10th or Capricorn in your 5th, I'm talking to you. You got Leo in your 10th or you Capricorn in your 5th. What do you want to activate with regards to something with your career, something with work, something with your work legacy, your career legacy, how you show up in the workplace? I know that that's close to Virgo and the 6th house, because that's the house of daily tasks, daily routines, our job. What do we work on every day? Leo is the whole career. Okay. Leo is the whole career. Leo is your job. Virgo is what you do at work. That's a good way to look at it. Leo is your job. Virgo is what you do every day at your job. That's kind of how you look at it. Okay. Let's see. For example, you might be an IT analyst. That's your job. Well, Virgo is, hey, I'm analyzing. I'm looking at charts. I'm looking at data. That's a good way to look at that. Okay. All right. Being a surgeon is the 10th house. Okay, that's Capricorn. That's the 10th house. Making incisions here and sewing and stitching and blotting or making sure that the fluid levels are all the same while you're in that open cavity, in that open space, making sure it stays irrigated. That's the Virgo side of that. Okay, that's where those two hands shake. Anyway, if you got Leo in your 10th house or Capricorn in your 5th, maybe you want to create something new with regards to your career, your work. Maybe you want a new job that is going to make you feel passionate again. Maybe the career you're in right now has kind of lost its flavor for you. You're not really happy in it anymore. Remember, the sun is about things that make us happy. Leo energy is about things that make us happy. Maybe you want to manifest a new career. Again, there's problem solving there. I beat the problem solving horse pretty good the last live I was on. So if y'all want to go through my channel, go look at what I think the title of the video is, what house you have, what sign you have in your 10th house or something. Talks about how you solve problems, something like that. It's in there. Y'all can find that in my live tab of my channel. So, but again, biggest and baddest for you, what career would make you feel passionate? What career would you get into that's more fun than it is work? If you got Leo in your 10th house, manifest that. Bring it into your reality. Bring that into your reality. Maybe you want to start a new career as a creative. Maybe you've been doing something that is routine or monotonous, but inside of you, in the innermost part of you lives an artist. Maybe you want to transition out of doing mundane work or having a mundane career over into being a career artist or being a creative in the workspace. Manifest that right now. Manifest it. Maybe you want to start a daycare. Maybe you want to work with children. Maybe you want to open up a daycare. Leo rules over children, right? And the 10th house is about career. Maybe you want to start a daycare. Find it. You know what that passion is. You know what it is. Speak it. Speak it. Okay? Now, moving over to the 11th. Moving over to the 11th. If you have Leo in your 11th house. Hang on a second. Oh, I had to stretch there. Caught a little cramp there. If you have Leo in your 11th house, that's that Aquarius energy. Okay? If you got Leo in your 11th or Aquarius in your 5th house, let's talk about creative new ways to be innovative. Those two kind of go together. Leo and Aquarius sit on that same axis. The difference is Aquarius is more about, hey, I want to get out of the spotlight. I want to do this for everybody else. Leo's like, hey, I want to do this for everybody else, but I'm leading the charge. It's over here. I want to make sure everybody knows I'm responsible for it. That Aquarius at 11th house energy is, hey, it's about the team. It's about the group. You got to marry those together. Leo is, hey, I did it. So, but again, let's keep in mind that Leo energy is about things that ignite our passions, our creative juices, things that are fun. So if you have any group memberships that are not fun anymore, maybe it's time to join a new one. Maybe it's time to join a new group, or maybe it's time to create something new to ignite that group. Maybe you want to infuse new energy, new power into that group activity. Okay. All right. Maybe you want to go surprise somebody with a romantic gesture. If you have Leo in your 11th house. Why, Matt? Why do you say that? Because the 11th house is ruled by Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, which is about sudden, unexpected activity. Okay. So maybe you want to go surprise somebody with an unexpected romantic gesture or romantic gift. I'm putting somebody on free game if you got Leo in your 11th, okay? Send me pictures of the baby shower, okay? Okay, all right? Maybe you want to surprise somebody with a romantic gift or romantic gesture. That's Leo in the 11th. What else? What else? It's about being creative, about having fun, about things that make us feel like a kid again. Maybe you want to join. I'm going to give you an example of something that made me feel like a kid again as an adult that I did years ago. I found out about an adult kickball league. That's group activity, and that's fun. That's something I did as a child. I loved playing kickball. How many of y'all like playing kickball when you were younger? Put it in the chat. Put a thumbs up in the chat. Put a little ball icon in the chat. How many of y'all enjoyed playing kickball? Wasn't that fun? It was so much fun. I joined this adult kickball league years ago. Now, I got out of it one time when I was trying to, you know how masculine testosterone gets sometimes, y'all. You try to, let me show him. Let me show him. I'm the man. Went out there and caught that ball. I didn't stretch. You know, I was still in my 20s. But I'm telling my age a little bit. I was still in my 20s. Didn't stretch. Went out there trying to show off. And my foot caught that ball wrong when I went up there to kick it. And y'all, I caught that thing wrong. It felt like my whole foot was going to come off. Okay? But you know what? That adrenaline, and because I don't want nobody looking at me like, oh, is he okay? Yo, I chinned that up like a G. I chinned that up like a G and ran to that first base. I chinned it up like a G and ran to first base. And I was like, all right, I can't let nobody see me limping. I'm gonna figure out a way to get around these bases, or maybe we just get out and then I can go back to the, just kind of massage this out, work this out. But after that, I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't need to do this adult kickball anymore. Maybe I need to find my passion somewhere else. All right. And my passion was my job. I loved what I did at the time. But anyway, Cassandra said, yes, heading to a family reunion and we're playing kickball. So you see exactly what I'm talking about. You see exactly what I'm talking about. So, yeah. So those are just, think about some ways that you can have fun. Think about joining groups or doing group activities that's going to make you feel fun. Think about infusing new creative juices into the teams and groups and organizations that you're a part of now. Infuse new energy, power them up. Okay. Find a way to be confident there. Find a way to show your confidence in a space where it's about the group and not about yourself. I will say this, okay? Aquarius in the Aquarius in the fifth isn't as bad as Leo in the 11th, okay? Aquarius in the fifth is a little bit, even though both of those are similar energy because Leo rules over the fifth house and Aquarius there, you got that Aquarius Leo energy, and then you got Leo in the 11th. Aquarius rules over the 11th house, so it's the same energy. But I feel like it's a little bit easier with Aquarius in the fifth than it would be with Leo in the 11th. So what you got to do is you got to strike that delicate balance of leadership, being a leader, being bold, showing strength, and all of that good stuff, all of that leadership energy and spotlight energy, because Leo's about the spotlight. Leo is about the spotlight, but doing that in a way that still promotes the group as a whole or the team as a whole. Let them give you your flowers versus being, hey, I'm the one that's responsible, because sometimes that can turn people off, but you know what that balance is for you. So I won't tell you how to deal with that. Again, that's a challenging, to me, that's a challenging placement only because Leo energy is supposed to shine like the sun, but that 11th house is about the group and everyone else because it's ruled by Aquarius. So find that delicate balance, but when you do, they're going to say you the man or you the woman, okay? So that's Leo in the 11th. And finally, if you have Leo in the 12th, let me drink some water. You have Leo in the 12th house or Pisces in your 5th. If you have Leo in the 12th or Pisces in the 5th, all right? That's a good placement as far as creativity and passion. That could suggest that you have a passion for spiritual things, okay? You have a passion for spiritual things. So maybe you want to manifest something that is new, that is going to ignite your passions for things of a spiritual nature. Y'all know, as an astrologist, one of my favorite themes of the 12th house is the connection, is that it's a bridge between the heaven and earth. It's the bridge between this life and past lives. It's a bridge between the current life and the afterlife. It's a bridge between you and your ancestors that has moved on. It's a bridge between you and the Most High. Okay? Leo is that star energy, that shine energy. Okay? So how can you have fun with regards to spirituality, spiritual things? Okay? That's that Piscean 12th house energy. But we're talking about creativity too. So what's going to ignite your creative juices? What's going to ignite your passions? Maybe there is something that's something spiritual that you can engage in that's going to ignite your passions, or a way to be creative. Now, the beauty of that is it's ruled by Pisces. Pisces is the dreamer. So if you've got Leo in the 12th house, how can you bring your dreams how can you create that thing that you're dreaming about? How can you create that thing that you're passionate about, where that passion perhaps lives on the dreamscape? Okay. Leo also rules over Leo rules over that 5th house of romance as well. Maybe there's a romantic, y'all know that we come back again, we reincarnate. Maybe there's a romantic partner that you had in a past life that you want to ignite something there. These are just some possibilities, some themes, because that 12th house rules over past lives as well. That's our connection to past lives. That's how we reconnect to the past life. When you get a past life regression done, that energy is that's 12th house energy being activated. That's 12th house energy being activated. So how can you be creative with regards to the spiritual nature? How can you bring something that is in the spirit realm into the physical realm? If you have Leo in your 12th house, you're a manifester as well. You're able to manifest. Why? Because that 12th house is the bridge between heaven and earth. So you have the ability as that 12th house Leo to manifest something that is in spirit and bring it into that. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm speaking this, y'all, I tell you, sometimes I come on here and I learn. Sometimes I hear myself speaking and I learn. You got Leo in that 12th house, you have the ability to create things that it's almost like, geez, that's almost like master manifestor energy, because Leo is a sign of creation. You're able to create new things, activate, and that 12th house is the spirit. Maybe you activate the spirit in your life more. That's Leo in that 12th. That 12th house, y'all, the 12th house is the house of things that are hidden as well. So maybe you shine a light onto something that has been hidden from you about you. Right? And, I hear this theme sometimes in the tarot channels, that 12th house, because it's afterlife and Leo ruling over children and creativity. Maybe some of y'all got these so-called spirit babies that are waiting to come. These spirit babies, these star children, these indigo child, these children that have these special gifts, these spiritual gifts. Maybe y'all got some spirit babies sitting on the other side that's waiting to come in. Speak it, activate it. Speak it, activate it. Pave the way. Grease the skids. Okay? Those are some themes with Leo in the 12th. That's a special placement. Anytime I see the 12th house, when I'm looking at somebody's chart and I see 12th house placements in it, I always sit up. I always sit up and pay attention. That 12th house is special. The 12th house is like, it reminds me of 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, where it says, for Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of the world to come. That 12th house is about the end of one thing and the beginning of the new. Why? How do we know? What comes after the 12th house? The first house. When we leave this life, we cross that bridge through the 12th house. When we come into this life, we come back across that 12th house bridge and we come out in the first house. We cross that cusp that sits between the 12th house and the first house. Okay? That's special, y'all. That's special. So that is Leo through all of the houses. And that last one I mentioned, that is Leo in the 12th or Pisces in the 5th. Okay, so if you got one of those two placements, you want to manifest anything that is of that spiritual nature. You want to be spiritually creative. You want to bring something. It's about activation. You want to activate spiritual gifts. Oh, that's another one. That's another one. If you got Leo in the 12th or Pisces in the 5th, maybe you have dormant spiritual gifts that need activation. Maybe you've always known they were there, but they have not activated yet. Now's the time to activate them. Go back to that video I just did the other night where I talked about the importance of using your voice now with sidereal Jupiter being in Gemini on the sidereal chart, or Gemini being or Jupiter or anybody with a third house placement. That's about speaking, because it now is an abundant time to activate that voice and activate communication, and using that communication to bring things into existence, because the gifts live with Jupiter. So guess what? But when you're talking about spiritual gifts, that's in the 12th house. That's in the 12th house. And Leo 5 energy, activation, creation. Some of y'all with Leo in the 12th or Pisces in the 5th have spiritual, perhaps you have dormant spiritual gifts that you want to activate. Manifest that now during this new moon in Leo. All right. Those are just some themes, y'all. I'm through all of the houses. I'm going to read some comments and I'm going to get off of here. Thank y'all for being here. And for those of y'all that stuck around through the hiccup, it is a Mercury retrograde too. So if anything can happen with technology, it didn't matter that my phone was sitting in the sun. It's one of those things that happens in Mercury retrograde. I don't think y'all ever see me here on a live where the live completely stopped, but kept going. That is the blessing in and of itself. Because I think that if I were logged into the YouTube studio, I think it would have just killed the live. But because I was coming in via a third-party streaming app, shout out to you, StreamYard. Y'all are the best. I'm going to always use StreamYard for as long as I can. That kept the actual connection active. And I was pleasantly surprised, y'all, when I came back in and saw that it had not dropped my live stream. So thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for being here today. Let me read some final comments, and then anybody just coming in, y'all going to have to go back through. I'm probably going to come back. I wanted to go live tonight, y'all, but I got other stuff going on. This is why I came live here during the middle of the day. I may jump on live tomorrow night or Friday night, and we're going to talk about the numbers with regards to a famous celebrity who a lot of us grew up watching, who's no longer here. All right. I don't want to speak his name in the live because I just want to keep this about that new moon energy. But that I wanted to give y'all a sneak preview of what we're going to be talking about in the next live, because I saw some very peculiar things with the numbers, and we're going to talk about that. All right. So let me read some comments, and then we're going to get out of here. Thank y'all so much for being here today. I really appreciate you all. And by y'all chiming in today at this time, that frees me up to go tackle this yard after it cools off, and then I can kind of wind it down in the evening and not have to shower and be kind of beat down and jump back on live. So I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all for being the best YouTube audience on the planet. I hear other people talking about their YouTube audiences. Oh, my YouTube family is the best. Ain't nobody got nothing on nobody up in here. Why? Because y'all got them spiritual gifts. Y'all got them spiritual gifts. All right? I pray for y'all. Y'all pray for me. I activate y'all. Y'all activate me. So I love y'all, man. I do. Okay? So let me read. Let's see. Bella came in. What's up, Bella? Bella is here. We got Bernadette. Okay. Hot shot. What it do, hot shot? Hot shot's in the house. Cassandra's in the house. We saw that. All right, everybody. So listen, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being here today. And listen, I love you guys so much. Tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You have to show it. Love is a verb. It's a noun as well. But when we focus on the verb, the noun takes care of itself. And by the way, if you haven't done so yet, please tap that like button on your way out, family. I'll greatly appreciate it. And for those of y'all that are interested in the subject matter, check out that link in the description box. The hottest book I've written probably ever is coming out. It's dropping. Pre-release people, I'm selling pre-release copies right now. The official release is not going to be until the 9th of September. But if you order yours now, I'm going to cut the pre-release ordering off the first week in August. And then because we got to go to production after that. So if you want to get yours almost a month before everybody else does, jump on that pre-release. Go to the link in the description box and check out that new. A lot of y'all came here. A lot of y'all started watching me from the Twin Flame stuff because of the Twin Flame content, divine counterparts, subject matter I was dealing with 2 years ago. I put out a string of videos on those. I got a whole playlist. A lot of y'all met me through looking at those videos and seeing those pop up in your recommended vids. I got something for y'all. Okay? So if you're somebody that identifies as divine masculine, divine feminine, or you're just curious about what that whole journey is about, that book is for you. It is a powerful resource that's going to activate you. Speaking of activation, it's going to activate you. Y'all gotta pop in. Y'all gotta check it out. A lot of spirit energy went into that. I started out writing it. The book finished writing itself. That's how it worked. I was literally just the hands on the keyboard, y'all. The hands on the keyboard, typing the notes, and then transposing them into the narrative. I cannot wait to share that book with the world. Get yours first. So y'all check that out. Hit that like button on your way out. And if you're new to the channel, you like being entertained, educated, uplifted, and inspired, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you set your notification bell to all so you'll be notified when I upload new content or go live. Or go live and then drop and come back. Okay? And last but not least, y'all, the only way you're going to reach and fulfill your destiny is through the energy of authenticity. 100% authenticity. Be you. Be the person that the Creator created for the purpose for which you were created. Don't look to your left to see what he's doing. Don't look to your right to see what she's doing. Don't worry about what they're going to think about what it is that you got to do. Whatever it is that you came here to do, you do it. You know why you don't want, let me say this before I get off here. You know why you don't want to worry about what somebody else thinks about what you're doing? It's because there's somebody else watching you who isn't going to speak up, but they're watching you, and what you living in your authenticity may inspire them to do something that's even greater than what you came here to do. But maybe they're nervous. So maybe the Most High puts you in that person's path so that you could be a light to them. Let your light so shine that men may see your good works and glorify your Father that's in heaven. Everybody talks a good game, but everybody ain't walking what they talking. Okay? So that is why you don't want to worry about what somebody else might have to think about what it is that you came here to do. Because guess what? For everybody that's got something to say about what you came here to do, there's probably 20 people that are glad that you did it. Let me share a quick story with y'all. I know y'all ready to go. But I love y'all to stick around because y'all know sometimes I get hot at the end. I get hot. Give me the ball, coach. Give me the ball. Okay. Let me say this real quick. And this probably got a target painted on my back, but so be it. In the grand scheme of things, the Most High was ready for me to leave and begin my life's work. My life's work wasn't working in corporate America as good as I was. And I'm not bragging. My customers, the customer service awards I got spoke to that. The high customer satisfaction ratings I got spoke to that. The renewed service contracts, as long as Matt's going to be our point man, spoke to that. Don't sign us unless Matt's going to be our guy. That spoke to that. Me being in the Army at 19 years old and having to cycle out because they used to rotate the medics. Hey, you know what? If you're with Alpha Company, then 6 months later, we're going to move you to Bravo, Charlie, or Delta, or Echo Company. We're not going to keep you with the same company longer than 6 months. You're going to switch around every 180 days. How about when it was Matt's time to leave Delta Company, 3rd Battalion, 6th Infantry Regiment? When it was time for Matt to quit being a Delta Company medic and be somebody else, how about the company commander from Delta Company came down to the battalion aid station and found our platoon leader, closed the door and had a conversation with him. And when he came out and left the aid station, I got called into the office, and the XOs, I'm sorry, not the XO, the platoon leader and the platoon sergeant were in there. They said, Talford, we don't know what kind of mark you left on Delta Company, but Delta Company's company commander, Captain, I don't want to say anybody's name, Captain came in here and he said, you're not taking my medic. He said, whoever you were going to rotate to Delta Company and move them somewhere else. That's my medic. And as long as I'm in command of Delta Company, he stays with us. And you know what happened? The line soldiers and the NCOs in Delta Company, when I told, we was just out in the field one day, I said, hey, y'all, this is going to be my last field problem with y'all. What you mean, Talford, this is your last field problem with us? Well, it's coming time for us to rotate medics in. So y'all going to be getting a new medic. I'm going to a new platoon. Not new platoon, new company. I'm going to a new company. Y'all going to get a new medic for Delta Company. Oh, no, we're not neither. I said, man, I ain't got no control over that. They went and told the company commander. The company commander came down to the aid station and told my platoon leader, y'all not taking my medic. That's how I ended up going to Kuwait. There's some more to it as well. There's some more micro stuff, but that's the macro of how I ended up going to Kuwait. Delta Company went. Delta Company was who got dispatched to go to Kuwait. They're like, nah, you're not taking my medic. I say all of that to say, be you and don't worry about who's looking at you and might be critical. Because for every one critic, you got 20 fans. I promise you that, man. We talk about new moon and Leo being ruling over the 5th house of Leo being ruled by the sun, which activates. I'm activating somebody right now. Don't worry about what somebody got to say about what it is that you came here to do. Do it. If you're looking at the critics, you ain't worthy of what you came here to do anyway. And guess what? You're going to have to come back and do it again anyway. Don't worry about what somebody got to say about what it is that you got to do. For every one critic, you got 20 silent fans. And your work is going to activate them, whether they come back and say thank you or not. And a lot of times they'll come back years later and tell you something that you said or did that activated them and you've forgotten about it. And then they remind you, you be like, oh yeah. I'm telling y'all how this works. I've seen it too many times. That is what the Messiah was saying when he said in the 5th chapter of Matthew, let your light so shine that men will see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. You know what that means? I don't mean they're going to see what Cassandra's doing and say, oh God, thank you for Cassandra. Some people might. But them, just the act that I'm saying, man, Cassandra did that thing, man. That's the creator of Cassandra getting the glory. I often use the food analogy because y'all know I like food. When you go to a steakhouse and you eat that steak, is that a compliment to the steak? And you eat that steak and that's, you like, y'all know how y'all get ugly faced when y'all eat something is good and you push away from the table, you cut it, you like, it's tender, smell good. Let me see. Nah, B, you can't have none of this. Nah, man, you can't. Nah. Is that a compliment to the steak or is that a compliment to the chef? That's what that scripture means. let your light so shine that men will see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. If they like what you're doing, then the Creator is getting the glory. That's what that means. These doggone pastors, man, they over complexify everything. It ain't that complex. It's simple. Do what you came here to do and do it well. If somebody likes what you do, if somebody likes how you look, that's why I tell people all the time, and I know sometimes I'm guilty of it. I'll go out, I don't care how I look. My shirt's a little sweaty. I was just outside, whatever. It is what it is, whatever. But sometimes when you think you look bad, somebody else think you look good. Let me say that too. I don't care how bad you think you look. Somebody looking at you like, dang, shorty kind of dope. Or, girl, he fine. I'll take him home and clean him up. Yeah, he need a shave. He need a haircut. But I see what he look. That was that joke I wasn't going to tell y'all the other night about my mom getting on me. Okay, my mother was called on me. For those of y'all that know, y'all that were there in that live, I'm going to say this with y'all real quick. Let me get off of here. My mother was called on me because I refused to groom. I was just like being lazy. I didn't feel like doing it. I was like, I don't feel like cutting my hair today. I don't feel like shaving, whatever. And I went out. And somebody, boss lady was like, you want to go out looking like that? I was like, yeah. And so I go to Walgreens and the girl at the checkout counter, is checking for the kid, right? So I get back in the car, my phone rings, and my mother is telling me about this phone call she received that I refused to groom, and I went out the house looking bad, right? So I told my mother, I said, Mom, look, you say what you want. Look, this shorty over here at this checkout counter, that was all I needed to hear. What you mean? Ma, she all but said, you know, are you single or what time you get off, what you going to be doing later? She all but said those things to me, Ma. And my Leo mother said, son, she said she saw your potential. I promise you she wasn't looking at it. I promise you she wasn't turned on by your scruffy face and your head that need a haircut, all right? She already saw through that and saw what you was going to look like once you shaved and cut your hair. So now go home and cut your hair. You making me look bad. You making yourself look bad. You making your dad look bad. We didn't raise you like that, all right? But anyway, that's that joke I didn't share with y'all the other night, man. I'm sharing it with y'all now anyway. That was the part I was like, nah, I don't need to tell y'all that. That's what it was. But anyway, but my point is, let your light shine. You don't know who you inspire when you go out your house looking good. You don't know who you inspire when you go out your house smelling good. All right? You don't know. So let your light shine, whatever that is. Let that creative juices, let that Leo energy out. Let that Leo energy out. Okay? She said, Mom popped the bubble. She sure did. She said, give the chef his props. Keep life simplistic. Exactly. She said, you got me hyped, activate, and levitate. Yes, indeed. Exactly, y'all. Exactly. Jojo Max said, another one, man, you know when we need a class. That's right. Cassandra said, I'll be ordering. Thank you, Cassandra. I appreciate you. The link's in the description box for anybody else. I appreciate y'all. Jojo said, right, hot shot. He got me too. Daytime gem for us. Yeah, that's right. So y'all, I just wanted to come on in and have a little fun with y'all, right? Because we're talking about the new moon in Leo, and Leo energy is about the things that make us feel fun. The things that are fun to us. The things that make us feel like a kid. Sometimes you just got to laugh, y'all. Think about how much you laughed when you were a kid versus how much you might laugh as an adult. All right? And I'm not talking about, I know some people have rough childhoods. I'm not talking about y'all. Everybody came into this life for a different purpose or to achieve something different. But there were still some things you fantasized about when you were a kid that just made you like you fantasized about being an astronaut or a pilot or a famous artist or a singer. Some people I know said they used to had dreams about being on stage and performing and all of this stuff. That's that fantasy world, y'all. That's that, and that's that 12th house energy too. That's Leo in the 12th. Things that you dream, bringing your dreams into reality. I talked about that. That's that Pisces in the 5th. That's anything that you got that anything that just makes you feel passionate, y'all. That's what we need to be doing. Laughing, sunshine. My tarot people that watch me, y'all know the sun card is the happiest card in the deck. That's Leo energy. That's 5th house energy. Okay. The strength card, determination, strength. That's that Leo energy too. So stand strong, y'all. Be happy. Do what makes you happy. Manifest that during this season. New moons are about manifestation because the moon is empty. There's no light. So you fill that space where the light goes with your light, with your intentions, with your manifestations. And it grows. And then over that 6-month period that it takes to come into full fruition, sometimes you get the results before that 6 months is up. But when that full moon is in Leo in Aquarius season, we give thanks for the things, for the reception of the things that we're manifesting right now. That's all I got, family. Listen, again, tap that like button on your way out. I enjoyed spending my afternoon with you all. Now I gotta pause. This was a part. This was work, but now I gotta go do some other work. I gotta go do some yard work. I gotta put some muscle in it. So let me go out here and muscle this this grass and push this lawnmower and put on my headphones and listen to my favorite YouTubers. All right. So shout out to all of y'all, man. I love y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I'll probably be back live this weekend. I'll know better than to say when, because y'all know sometimes things come up. But the intent is for me to go live Friday night because I got some stuff I want to talk about. All right. Some stuff that's going on in the world. We got to stay sharp. We do the fun stuff here too, but we also got to stay vigilant. All right. I love y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your Wednesday. You're very welcome, Bernadette. Peace, y'all.